Hello everybody, it's GeneralGigan here, stopping back at you with another Minecraft video. In today's video, I'll be going over the Sith legacy changes to Legends 7.0. But before the video starts, only a small percentage of people are actually subscribed, so don't like on a video, consider subscribing. Sith Warriors are combat specialists focusing their efforts in aggressive combat and battle tactics. They are the dark side equivalent to the Jedi Guardian. To become any of the Sith legacies, you first must install the Legends maps, then make an observatory comlink and go to space. Once in space, go to the Galactic Console and travel to the planet Korriban. Find and talk to Darth Evo, and obtain the Sith Hologron. Select which legacy you want and then press commit. Upon committing to the Sith Warrior, you gain a force potential of 145, strength 1, acrobatics 1, fortitude 2, and mental defense 2. The classes the Sith Warrior can choose from are Take, Controller, Warrior, and Force. For lightsabers, they have been nerfed some. You can no longer block power types like fire, and you can only block projectiles if you're blocking, not while you're swinging. However, you can still clash with other lightsabers while swinging. The customization options for Sith are their eye size, shades, combat stance, combat style, and Sith eyes. The skill tree for all the different Sith legacies are the Sith logo. The first abilities you will automatically learn when becoming the Sith legacies are Corrupt Crystal, where you use the dark side of the Force to corrupt Kyber crystals, Crystal Harvest, where you can harvest Kyber crystals from Ilum, and Telepathy, where you can use your connection to the Force to communicate with other Force users. The first ability you must learn is Foresight for 10 skill points, which allows you to see others and their alignments through the Force. Lightsiders will appear blue, while Darksiders appear red, and those who are neutral will appear white. This lasts for 15 seconds. Then going directly up, you'll learn Dual Wielding for 10 skill points, and to the left of that, you'll learn Breath Control for 10. And to the right, you will learn Force Healing, where you accelerate your natural healing through meditation over 10 seconds. Above Dual Wielding is Duelist for 20 skill points, where you use your superior swordsmanship to outduel your opponent, countering any incoming melee attack. Deals 12 damage in total. To the left of Duelist is Vengeful Slice for 10, and then the right is Mauler for 20. The top right of Foresight will give you Force Pull for 10, and then the left of that is Saber Throw for 20. To the right is Force Drain for 50, where you revitalize yourself by draining the energy of your enemies. Takes the target's health for a 1-to-1 ratio. This can also be used to get Soul Essence. Above Force Pull is Force Slow for 25 skill points, where you slow down a target mentally and physically for 5 seconds. To the left of that is Force Plague for 50 skill points, where you paralyze all opponents in the area, as well as poisoning them. This staggers for 5 seconds and deals 10 damage of poison. To the right is Force Affliction, which is a more advanced version of Force Slow, where you stagger the opponent for 5 seconds. The bottom right of Foresight will give you Force Speed for 20, and to the left of that is Force Destruction for 35, where you create a massive energy field and throw it at any direction, destroying everything on impact. This deals 10 damage. To the right of Force Speed is Force Rage for 30 skill points, where your strength, speed, and force energy increase while damage is reduced by 75% for 10 seconds. After Force Speed is Battle Precognition for 50 skill points, where you use the Force to anticipate your opponent's attacks, countering them with your combative skills. Avoids most forms of damage for 5 seconds, but drains 50 energy. To the left of Battle Precognition is Force Perception, which is Heightened Perception for 50 skill points, and to the right is Force Tempest for 50, where you project Force Lightning from your limbs in a whirlwind, encircling your body as bolts bounce off. This damages anyone nearby. Each bolt deals 1 damage and lasts for 5 seconds. To the bottom of Foresight is Force Lift for 50, and then the left of that is Force Choke for another 50, where you strangle your victim only using the Force. Right-click toggles off, drains 40 energy over time, and to the right is Force Crush for 50. Going down from Force Lift is Force Lightning for 30, where you emit lightning from your fingertips, inflicting severe pain and temporary paralysis. Deals 12 damage. To the left of Force Lightning is Force Maelstrom for 100, where you create a protective force bubble around yourself and begin swirling objects around it, eventually releasing everything in a wild electric burst. Deals 80 to 85 damage, staggering targets in the process. To the right is Lightning Grenade for 55 skill points, where you lift your opponents in the air and blast them with a burst of lightning, sending them flying. Deals 6 damage, right-click toggles off. Drains 20 energy as long as you have the move active. The bottom left of Foresight will give you Force Jump for 10, and above that is Levitation for 20. And below is Defensive Rush for 20, where you charge towards your enemy, deflecting any projectile with your lightsaber. Deals 8 damage over 2 seconds. After Force Jump, you will learn Force Leap for 15, and then above that is Spin Attack for 20. where you twirl through the air using your lightsaber to slice on nearby opponents as you propel towards them. Deals 5 damage on impact, deflecting projectiles. Below Force Leap is Frenzy for 20, where you enter a frenzied rage, leaping from enemy to enemy as you strike them down with your lightsaber. Damage reduced by 10% for 5 seconds. On the top left of Force Sight, you will learn Force Push for 10, and then above that you will learn Force Deflection for 30, where you deflect incoming objects and projectiles with the Force, avoiding damage from them. On the bottom you will learn Force Barrier for 50, where you create a shield from Force Energy that can be used to protect those inside, as well as repel those outside. Only guild members are allowed from entering the barrier. Right-click toggles off. After Force Push, it's Force Fear for 20, where you use the Force to instill fear in your enemies, grounding them and causing disorientation for 10 seconds. Grants Terror 10 for 10 seconds, dealing 5 damage to the direct target. Staggers the target for 5 seconds. On top of Force Fear is Force Horror for 30, where you send multiple enemies into a chaotic state of fear and panic, heightening the ability of Force Fear. Deals 10 damage to everyone in a 10 block radius, disorienting them in the process. Grants Terror 10 for 15 seconds, staggering the targets for 5 seconds. The final ability that the Sith Warriors have is Force Wound for 20, where you telekinetically apply pressure to the opponent's organs and body, causing immense pain. Deals 10 damage, temporarily stunning them. Sith Inquisitors focus on strengthening their Force abilities, rather than utilizing on brute strength. They are the dark side equivalent of the Jedi Consular. When committing, you gain a Force potential of 180, Strength 1, Acrobatics 1, Fortitude 2, and Mental Defense 3. They have the same classes as the Warrior, except the Warrior is changed out for phasing. The skill tree for the Sith Inquisitor is the same as Warrior, but with different abilities. Instead of Force Destruction, they have Deadly Sight for 40 skill points, where you transfer your hate and anger into energy and burn victims just by looking at them. Deals 5 base damage while setting the target on fire for 4 seconds, regardless of their fire resistance. They also have Lightning Shield instead of Battle Precognition for 40 skill points, where you protect yourself in a shield of Force Lightning. In this state, the lightning absorbs incoming projectiles while shocking anything that touches you. Lasts for 10 seconds. At the bottom, instead of Lightning Grenade, they have Lightning Bomb for 60 skill points, where you blast powerful lightning at your opponent, using the Force to amplify it into a deadly explosive. Deals 20 damage in total, staggering the target in the process. Instead of Force Maelstrom, they have Force Storm for 100, where you create a storm of electrical energy, zapping everything in the remote area. Deals 80 damage while staggering the afflicted opponents. At the bottom left, instead of Defensive Rush, they will have Force Scream for 50, where you release a wave of hatred upon your foes, decreasing their defense by 20% for 10 seconds. And they have Phase for 30 skill points. At the top left, instead of Force Horror, they will have Force Insanity for 40 skill points, the most powerful variant of Force Fear. Force Insanity spreads beyond the effects of Force Horror, increasing the range and severity of the attack. Deals 10 damage to everyone in a 20 block radius, disorienting them in the process. Grants Terror 20 for 15 seconds, staggering targets for 5 seconds. Sith Assassins are covert killers, operating from the shadows while specializing in various subjects. They neither master field combat nor Force teachings, instead utilizing both to become the ultimate assassins. They are the dark side equivalent to the Jedi Sentinel. They have a Force potential of 160, Strength 1, Speed 2, Acrobatics 1, Fortitude 2, and Mental Defense 2. They have the same classes as the Sith Inquisitor, except they gain Assassin. At the bottom right, instead of Force Destruction, they'll get Disable Tech for 50 skill points, where you use your skills to temporarily disable all technology within the area. And instead of Battle Precognition, they'll get Force Cloak for 30. At the bottom, instead of Lightning Grenade, they'll get Lightning Burst for 50 skill points, where you emit lightning from your body, striking all enemies nearby, deals 10 damage to all afflicted. And instead of Force Maelstrom, they'll have Chain Lightning for 100, where you send lightning through multiple enemies nearby, paralyzing and grounding them, deals 80 damage, staggering them for 5 seconds. At the bottom left, instead of Defensive Rush, you will learn Saber Rush for 20. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, consider subscribing for more content like this. Hoorah and epicness of awesomeness.